On Monday, there were two entirely separate school shootings that happened in America. It sounds crazy to say this, but nobody died, so relatively speaking, it wasn't a particularly disastrous situation. But that, in and of itself, is so telling, because we had two school shootings in the same day, and you probably didn't hear about either one. Because nobody died. See, today in America, you need not only a school shooting, but a school shooting where at least 3 or 4 people die in order for anybody to give a fuck and in order for CNN or the mainstream media to start covering it. So how's this for a mind-blowing fact? That brings the total number of school shootings since Newtown to 76. Newtown was not that long ago. 76 school shootings have happened since then. Then yesterday, we also got this news, quote, Daniel Crespo, the mayor of Bell Gardens, California, has died after being shot in a domestic dispute inside his home. Crespo and his wife were involved in an altercation when his 19-year-old son intervened. His wife is believed to have then fired a gun. According to Daniel Crespo's brother, before the shooting, he told him on the phone, "She's over here fighting that I spend too much money." So in the same week, we have a politician killed by a gun and 2 school shootings. And again, you've heard what? How much gun violence coverage in the media this week, in the mainstream media? Not much, if any. So we've reached a point in America where our skin is so thick that I don't think anything would get us to take effective action. And you guys know me, I'm not talking about banning guns or doing some sort of crazy push in the opposite direction. I'm talking about very mild, moderate, vanilla reforms. But even that, it's impossible. If we got through Sandy Hook, where children were slaughtered, and we didn't get anything done, the bar is set in a place now where even if you go above it, we're too desensitized and people just, oh, okay, whatever. And to be clear here, I'm not saying the American people are to blame, because the American people are totally open in the polls. They say 91% of them say do a universal background check. 60% of them say ban assault weapons. About the same say ban high-capacity magazines. So the American people are on board with these common-sense reforms, but the politicians aren't doing it. Now, why are the politicians not doing it? Because, of course, the NRA and the gun manufacturers and the gun lobby, and the way it works is this. You have the gun manufacturers paying the NRA, then the NRA takes that money and gives it to the politicians. So the politicians, specifically the Republicans, they block everything because they're taking money from the gun manufacturers. So in other words, the group of people in the United States of America that should have the least amount of effect on gun policy control all of our gun policy. Now, why do I say they should have no effect or the least amount of effect? Because they have a massive conflict of interest. They make more money the more guns are sold. The more there's a panic about all these shootings, the more weapons they sell. So they have a financial interest and a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders to maximize profits and sell as many guns as possible. So when they give money to these politicians, they're doing it with the understanding that these politicians are going to block even the most common sense reforms. So here we are in the United States of America in 2014 with the rest of the modern world laughing at us. I told you guys this. I have listeners in Australia, SecularTalk listeners in Australia, who've reached out to me and they said, no, you don't get it. We have public officials who say to us, don't travel to America. If you do travel to America, watch out, you may get shot and killed. That's how we're viewed the world over. 32,000 gun deaths on average every year in the United States of America. That's everything. Homicides, suicides, accidents, you name it. 32,000. Meanwhile, when you look at Britain, France, Australia, Canada, these places all have around 100 every year. The difference is so gigantic. It's a joke. It's a joke. But nothing gets us to move this needle and actually get substantive policy through. Even when in the same week we have a politician shot and killed and 2 school shootings. Sad thing is, it's a story that is going to live and die within the confines of what I'm talking about right now. This is a big story anywhere else in the world, but in the United States of America, a politician shot and killed and 2 school shootings in the same week? Shrug it off and move along.